Good afternoon. We're going to do our live flow and charts. I'm recording this for anybody that may be missing this. This is a test run, so I'm hoping the recording actually works good. Um, yeah, so we're just going to kind of look at flow charts, do our normal kind of just unusual whale stuff and all that stuff. JT's here already. Welcome, welcome. JT joined during the intro. It's been kind of quiet this afternoon since kind of the sell off and everything earlier in the day. Let's kind of take a peek. We're almost back towards the high of the day. Just kind of looking over the flow here, just see what's going on. Still seeing a lot of put action here. Market tides just kind of heading towards that bid side for both call and put premiums, for all premiums. Out of the money. Still a lot of ask side out of the money puts, and put volume's kind of decreasing there. Calls kind of coming back. Did you trade anything today, JT? Netflix. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I got the Netflix earlier in the day, and you paper handed those. That's fine. I got profits are profits. Gee, yeah, 303 and they hit 12. That's crazy. Crazy day. I told myself I wasn't gonna trade today, and guess who tried to scalp calls near the high of the day earlier? And then I was like, I told myself I wasn't gonna trade today. Like, I've had a great week, and I'm just like, why am I trading today? Especially with Powell talking. I knew Powell was talking. I knew all the Feds were talking. I knew Trump was gonna talk, and I'm like, well, let's trade anyways. But I just did I just did a couple 0 days. I probably should have went short, but looked like we were coming up there a little bit this morning, and then nope, back down we go. Yeah, that flow's been kind of quiet now. I mean, just lots of multi-leg junk for the most part. But keep an eye out. I'm waiting for this guy. This guy's doing a estimate on my driveway. I'm super scared to see the estimate for the driveway. I know they're not cheap. Yeah, I know it. The last week's just been absolutely brutal. The last couple weeks, just with all that tariff talk and everything, it's all that talk adds up. I'm gonna post a thing here. I'm hoping the recording works with this. I'm fingers crossed. Welcome Defunk. Really hoping the recording works for this. That way I won't feel bad or trying to time these during the night for everybody too. I had to find a good program to record because the one that I use for flow and charts, I have a 30-minute limit on it because I'm like, I don't want to buy let's take a peek. You said little reversal. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just watching that one here. I mean, we're back near the high of the day. I mean, this would be your spot where you're looking for a rejection. That's pretty close. I mean, we got pretty close. That was my first support. I was like 567.90 for some longs for a possible bounce. I mean, we got pretty close, but then rejected that. That would have scared me there, that rejection. I'm glad I didn't trade anymore. And Defunk and JT, obviously, as always, if you guys have any flow you want me to look up or anything, please shout it out. I do want to look at, I know JT, since we kind of taught Gamma a lot, That daily gamma, I mean, just the last, like, this is just nasty. I mean, that's nasty bearish on that daily gamma there. That thing has just been, but yeah, where's my delta? Ew. Yeah, that's not looking too hot. Not looking too hot. And even I know, like, this morning too, like when I looked at that, I mean, obviously your exposure is a little different now, but that exposure this morning too was just nasty. But that total volume's to the upside now, so I mean, that's the one thing with like gamma that why I'm like I don't want to post that like market tide just because it's so fluid and changes second to second. But yeah, I mean that daily gamma, I mean that thing's told a story for the past week. I mean that's just nasty, absolutely nasty there. Let's see, nothing on micro. Too far out of the money for me on those. Those are probably just premium collectors. Dash. I'm trying to stay away from bid side stuff right now because that's been kind of. I no, I have to sub to that if I want that. I pop it open here. I haven't. I know it's still in its beta testing stage and stuff, but yeah, I haven't. Where is that? It's under here. Yeah, I haven't upgraded to it or anything yet. I want to see some videos on it and kind of see like how it's used and all that. I'm not obviously super in tune with this yet, but it looks like it'd be something kind of interesting to watch. I'm curious to see. So that gamma exposure there, yeah, that's a lot of data here. But I'm like, I don't know if I need another thing to watch intraday. Like it's you kind of already have your strategy down, and but that's something interesting though. Kind of want to see some other people use it, see how they find stuff with it before I start doing it. I don't like being a test dummy usually for stuff because usually that costs you money, not in a good way. I'm waiting for this guy to give me my stupid bid. Is he still here? I'm trying to look at the camera. Yeah, he's still here. Oh, here we go. Does say some flow, but it's multi-leg. Yay. Yeah, and that was wild too. I obviously was at lunch when most of it happened, but I jinxed it this morning when I said watch Trump talk right when Powell talks, and guess what happened? That's insane. And I kind of caught some of the Powell highlights. I didn't really see him say anything that stuck out. It's going to be a quiet afternoon, isn't it? Carvana multi-leg. Let's look at these puts. So again, yeah, like this again. Here we go. Something that's not gonna tell me anything because you have probably somebody exiting there at the bid. I'm kind of wanna let's look at some of the flow that we took this week while we wait for some stuff to come in. These VFC calls that came in today. Looks like 173. It looks like they're 184 there, kind of moving up there a little bit. The SPY put 722. Looks like they only hit about 805, 815. Probably seeing some of that volume come off here. I'm guessing they probably took some off there too. Multi-leg 5%. Oh, looks like we're kind of coming down a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, the volatility is just insane right now. PG. I know Dan said something about that when it was going. Let's see, 188. They're kind of chopping a little bit. Break even, kind of moving down. Let's see what these came in at 930. So about in here. So probably getting about back to break even a little bit. Some time on those. XLE. Yeah, I know. That's what it feels like. Seriously, what it feels like. 150. These hit 174 today. AMD from yesterday. Kind of flat. A lot of that call. I mean, that's the thing with like all the contracts. So it seems like a lot of these contracts, everything just with IV up, premiums are just jacked. So I mean, you're seeing these big moves. Contracts aren't depreciating that much. So that's a good thing. Let's see what we just had come in. GEHC earnings, and it's oh no, it doesn't overlap earnings. Floor trade though. Let's just take a peek at it. So again, something like this, I'm not kind of gonna diagnose. Obviously, all that size came in at once. Kind of hard to read that. I like to see that IV usually. So kind of pass on that one. Big spike in that call premium. What did we see the last 3 days? Spike and call input. All right, let's go back to our flow. So we were AMD, those were kind of flat. TPR, these things moved, I know that. Yeah, that's yesterday, 132, 310 today. QQQ call, this guy's. See, and that's like the thing too, this guy's 28 days out. Most of this is still here, 1146. They're at about 813. I mean, down a little bit right now, obviously, but 28 days and with the volatility, wouldn't surprise me to see these come back. Let's see. The Starbucks puts those printed today too. And this one, let's see. I'm going to pop that in here. Let's look at Meta for you. So let's chart that out and look at Meta. Well, I'm going to tell you right away, you can see I had my trend line kind of drawn there. So I'm going to say it probably bounced off that trend line. Let me just extend this a little bit more. Kind of clean it up a little bit, make sure we're clean. But yep, I'm going to agree with you there, JT. You got your demand zone in here and your trend line. That would have been a good spot for at least a technical algo bounce. And looks like we're going to retest that 50-day moving average there too. But yeah, nope, yeah, you pretty much had that called out before I even pulled up that chart. But yep, demand zone there, trend line looked good, and then you got your RSI down. Look good. Just got to see if we get over that 50-day. So, the Starbucks puts from yesterday. So these are interesting because 1,000 contracts there, 1,000 contracts there. Looks like they averaged in. Actually, they averaged up 122, and then they got more at 156. All of that carried over, and they hit a high of 260 today. Nice little trade for that whale. Rivian, these should have been up a little bit today. 87, looks like we hit 99 today. Obviously, a lot of time on these ones, too. Baba puts those things printed yesterday. I wouldn't have swung those, obviously. 208, and they hit 330 yesterday. I mean, that's a pretty good return, and looks like that whale. Let's see, what do we have? 3,000 contracts there. Oh, they could have took some off in here. Kind of hard to tell. Not that full volume carrying over, but seeing some big spikes here now. Yeah, that's like, and that's the thing I don't get with some of these whales sometimes too. I mean, you're up, what, 2 to 3? I mean, 30, 40%. Why would you not take profits, especially when you know the market's that volatile? That's one thing that obviously, you know, I'm always telling everybody in here, adjust stops up. Just because the whale's still in doesn't mean you have to be. All right, let's see what else we got. Marvel, those things printed yesterday, actually. So those came in at 302. They actually hit 395, 410, and it looks like they might have. Looks like they probably cut some here intraday, because you got 3,500 contracts, only 1,300 carrying over. So 302, 314 maybe, 330. They might have took some profits. Kind of hard to tell between those two candles, but a lot of that profit coming off yesterday, and then a lot of bid side stuff today. Obviously, with weeklies, you're probably not going to want to swing those over the weekend. Let's see. So, again, another good find. I mean, if they're making an intraday move, just because you have time on them doesn't mean you have to swing them. Let's see. And then IWM puts those expired today. I would have closed those yesterday. We'll see what just came in here. Obviously, 102 was the fill. Looks like they probably sold them at 113. Hit 123 for a high. Let's see what just came in. Microsoft. Okay, so this one looks good right away. Good size. Some volume on there, so I just want to make sure it's not. So good clean volume there. I just want to go back and check. So it looks good there. Let's look at this. Oops, time. Let's go back. So let's see, 26.95 when that flow comes in. Let's go back. 26.95 all the way up, it looks like. Ask side fills. These look good to me. Let's steal that one and then post that. And already kind of running. I hate that sometimes, and I feel like I need to get it out a little quicker. Alright, let's pop this in there. I'm gonna head over to Discord quick here. So 21 days, 405 again, not that far out of the money, so that's a good sign there. Let me pop these in here. Very low multi-leg, good sign. And there we have a trade idea. And just kind of looking at I want to look at the last couple days. So 7 days, I mean, we had a big spike that day. We didn't really see that call volume drop off today, but it's coming back a little bit. Let's look at gamma and stuff on it too. So your gamma, obviously still negative. What do we got? Let's see, a lot of put gamma exposure. It's a little further out, net gamma on the calls. Yeah, not seeing anything too bad here. PDD, these are earnings. I'm not going to post those. So we actually had some PDD earlier, I think Monday. Let's see, I got to see what Dan said. Okay. I'll hit him with the fire emoji, that's it. See what else we were looking at. Oh, hold on. My camera's going off, so that guy must be done, hopefully. Oh, yep, he's knocking. He's knocking and he left the shovel. I'm watching him. Oh, he's putting... I'm watching him. Let's see if he sent me my bid here. I'm checking. Let's see. Waiting for him to leave. My girlfriend just texted me. She's like, he just knocked. Like, yeah, he said he was going to knock. I'm glad she doesn't watch these replays. She'd be like, oh, you're talking about me on your streams, huh? Oh, he's leaving. Perfect. I'm going to tell her to grab it. I'm telling her to grab that bid because I want to see it. I'm kind of scared to see it because the driveways are not cheap. So anyways, back to as we were doing until I get my thing here. So DraftKings, those things printed today too, obviously. Yesterday, 101 all the way up to 440 today. Things printed hard. Palantir, these four things are, oh, that's up 5% today. These are almost kind of back to break even. 0.82 down 53. They're coming back. Whale's still in. GME, obviously, those are a lotto. I don't really track them that much, but I'll pass on that one. Morgan Stanley. These are kind of down 21 days, 128. Poor whale. Ooh, yeah, that's a pretty big drop. Doesn't look like they took anything off either. Well, these were from Flow & Charts. I got in these yesterday. About 2. I have to check my position here, but 41 days, I'm still holding on to these a little bit. Sea calls. 71. Down a little bit again. 41 days on them. Seems like a lot of whales are getting further out time. Apple puts, those things did pretty good here. 344, they actually ran intraday there. 405. Can't really tell how much of that volume carried over because not a bunch of that carried over, and that whale was 3,500 contracts, so we'll say they probably exited the same day. Sound calls from the 4th. I gotta pop this back. Those 75 hit 89 there. Looks like they're still in. Let's see, BAC calls. I saw Snorlax post these ones too, but 133, and they moved up to 158 same day. Again, with the volatility, I mean, probably want to adjust stops up. Looks like they took some off at 102. GM puts 110, chopping about 95, 70 days on those. Intel puts, those things majorly printed. 52 hit a high of 75, actually 85 yesterday. Oxy puts, again 23, hit 26 there. I mean, that's 10, 20, 30% technically. I mean, you can't look at contract price. That's one thing I always tell people. I mean, might only be $4 from there, but you're looking at that contract price. That's a significant move on a contract. Ox and BA, I haven't looked at these yet, so these coming in at 715, 773, 799, actually 815 there on the 5th. I'm waiting to see this estimate. Oh, I didn't read my text, of course not. So let's move on. BA Google calls. Those were from the 4th. I think we were at 379. Obviously, those things ran when the market was still down. That thing's still running there. I know, that's just insane. Nvidia, these poor calls, I think they got clapped. Oh no, they made a nice move up there. Let's see. 694, we hit 953. I lied. Okay, they made a good move intraday there. Apple puts, those things printed. 171, 252. SMH, anything puts kind of printed, so 594, 1034, and they're still at 965 today. Rocket Lab, 44, looks like they probably close those at 63. So we had on the 3rd about 8,000 contracts carry over. Looks like they might have passed off half. Kind of odd because you only had half close. Interesting. So maybe they're still in half. I don't know. That math isn't mathing to me there. But those, I mean, nice move up there, 44 up to 88. I mean, you're almost at 100%. SPY puts can probably tell you they printed 560, 2255 today. It's insane. Hims calls, this poor guy got clapped. Looks like he actually sold those off. So bought those at 199. I'm guessing he sold them at that 51 because if we look at the 3rd here when they came in, 3rd had a but most of that carryover had that volume. Not really any change in the open interest, so they passed those off to somebody else at 51. IWM puts those things 208, obviously up to that 560, 575 today. MSTR, this would have been a really good dip buy. So that was that entry there, 260, dropped all the way down to 79, and then came up and hit 585. And it's so strange to me how some of these whales will just get the worst entry and then end up just pulling something like this. It's like you think you'd get a better entry, especially, and to hold it through that. I mean, 260 and they're hitting 79. You're down almost $200 a contract, and this whale is in 1,300 contracts. I mean, you're down. I mean, that's a massive. That's like 70%. So you're risking pretty much all that money. But I mean, I suppose if they know something's going to move, then they don't care. And then these were from last week. So I know those Morgan Stanley puts printed 350 up to 1514. Wild. Rum calls. That's what a lot of people are going to need after this week. Take a peek at these. And under 10, I don't really like calling those out just because they're so slow. But we'll take a peek at the flow just for the fun of it. Then I got to pop up that market tide. So flow starts to come in, spike. Let's see, 103.76. Oh, that IV drops, so not a fan. And then obviously it's up on the day, so nope, not a fan there. I'm going to pop in that market tide quick. Oh, small little drop here. All right, let's pop up the market tide. It looks like that out on the money call, they're coming back, but puts are kind of still staying up there. Just came in. Nvidia calls 35 days. Okay, let's take a peek. Let's see. So like this I can read, but I don't like that IV drop there. Yeah, I don't like that IV drop. Welcome in, Red. We're just kind of looking through some stuff. I had to run up and grab that bid for the driveway. I'm actually not that, like, depressed. I thought it was going to be a lot more. It's only 6,800. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Welcome simulation as well. And I recorded most of this. I'm hoping the sound works really good on this, because I do want to get this up for everybody. Hey, good day to pick her up, huh? I was just telling JT and D-Funk in here, I had somebody out there giving me a bid for my driveway. I was just dreading it. I was like, oh, it's going to be painful because driveways are not cheap. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, we were just kind of looking through the flow. I went through some of the flow we took this week too. I'll obviously have our flow recap video up too, but again, if anybody in here has any flow they want me to look up. Oh yeah, well, we're looking at an asphalt driveway, and Driveway is, looks like it's 1,100 square feet. They quoted me 6,800, which is not bad for a driveway. Because I know there's people, I mean, like a concrete driveway, that's like 18,000 by me. That's just insane. So I'm not really against that. So, and then we got a grant from the city too. We won a grant where they'll pay 25% of anything. So 25% of 7,000, I'll take that little discount. Not too sad. I'm just gonna have to raise the price of Stock Hub to about $1,000 for a couple months. Just kidding. Wouldn't do that to anybody in here. Oh man. Found it, well, yeah, I would, and that's the thing too, because I know people are they're always like, "Are you gonna raise the price?" I was like, "Well, if yes, I can look at Mara for you." Yeah, I wouldn't raise prices on anybody that's in here already. If the price ever did raise, well, I'll give everybody kind of a little detail. What I want to do here is if anybody that's been following him on Twitter, the my one friend I actually know in real life that I know the payout picks guy, he wants to eventually open up a little channel in here and do sports betting. That would obviously be included for everybody in here, and then if there's any price changes, there wouldn't be price changes on anybody that's in here already. Wouldn't do that at all. I already expressed that to him, but let's look at Mara for Defunk here. Let's look at Mara. Well, let me go to my flow list. Unless you have a specific contract that you want me to look up. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in Mara. $18 call through 28. I can look that one up for you. Probably better than surfing all the flow here. Let me look that one up for you. Let's see. So you're in the Mara 18 328 18 call. Yeah, no, and that's why I try to keep the price so low, because I'm like, I don't need to like charge, like some of these people charge $100 a month, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's crazy. All right, let's see. 328. 328 is the 18 call. Let's see. It looks like most of that volume came in there from the 24th Defunk. When did you get in that? Go back 14 days. So it looks like there's your 24th, your entry there, 50. Looks like they're at 78 now. So it looks like that whales up, that flow. I'm going to kind of try to do a little math here for you. Yeah, it looks like most of that's still in there. I mean, not really seeing enough where... Yeah, that's probably good if you're selling the rips and buying the dips, because that whale's still in for the most part. Yeah, you're getting to 21 days, 18 call. What are we at? Let me take a peek at the chart for you. Oops, let's see, Mara. Then when do they have earnings? Let's see, 18 days, 61. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, like mine, yeah. But you're looking, I'm just kind of doing a small little trend line here for you just to kind of see. Yeah, I'd kind of keep an eye maybe on that, and I mean, we got back up through that 200 day, so that's a good sign there. Yeah, I probably put a little, And I'm just doing a really rough drawing here too. I'm going to probably put some resistance here. I mean, it's a really ugly trend or supply zone. But yeah, I'd probably put some resistance here near. Okay, I'm not even going to draw that because it's not even going to look that good. I'm going to clean that out too. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, you might get back up to this kind of maybe 1695 and see a small rejection there. But I'm seeing some good volume here over some buying volume coming there. And I mean, we broke that 200 day to the upside. Let's see what just came in here. Qualcomm. Okay, so these look decent. Let's take a peek at the flow. So I want to see what happens. Yeah, and they have they had that crypto, Trump signed the crypto reserve thing yesterday, so I know there was kind of some stuff there, and I heard some good things, some bad things, and I don't know, crypto's so volatile. Let's see, I'm looking at this Qualcomm stuff that came in though. Not liking all the bid side stuff here. Yeah, probably pass on that. I mean, want to see how much of that volume carries over into Monday, but that net call premium spiking too. But obviously, if you're getting ask side calls, that's gonna tribute to that. Yeah, I'd want to see where this is at on Monday. Probably wouldn't call that out here. Tech 7 days, not at the ask. Not really a fan of holding over the weekend. Let's take a peek at these though. IV drops when the big volume comes in, so right away that's a red flag to me. Yeah, probably saying no on this one too. Just with that drop at that volume, I don't like that, and that's your premium and volume right there. Yeah, probably say no on that one too. But yeah, defunct not to kind of change the subject on you. Welcome, Josh Bot. Welcome, my other favorite Minnesotan. Yeah, that I'd watch that trend line on Mara there though. Not to change the subject on you that quick, but yeah, that, I mean, still got it there. I mean, you broke that 200 day, just kind of watching that upper 16s, and every time I switch over to the chart, something comes in. YMM 287. I don't like anything super long right now, just because with all the volatility, and you're gonna have to overlap earnings, bunch of earnings periods. But let's just look at it. Up 15 call. Let's just take a peek. Descending fill. Let's see where that descending fill is right there. Not bad. That IV stays up. Which one are you looking at, JT? I can pull up the chart if you want me to. Yeah, these are probably, I'd probably lean buys, but not a fan of long. For Meta, let me pull up Meta again for you. So you're just talking about like on a, so if you were like if you're saying like this was dropped out of the supply zone or demand zone. God, this is how I know it's Friday, because I'm getting my supply and demand zone terminology mixed up. So going up into it, so essentially like something like that. So let's say we were down at like 582.62 and you saw us kind of coming up to here. So this is kind of where you would consider it maybe a supply zone or a resistance zone area then, until you can kind of get out of that. So like this one, so I'll use Meta as your example. We'll say we were down here at 589.72. What I'm looking for here is, So we're coming up into the supply zone, quote unquote. I'm looking to see if we can break back into this channel. So obviously this is your full channel here that you have drawn out, going all the way back. See, we're obviously in a channel trending up. What I'm looking for here is I want to see, like, this is something that you could take as a momentum entry, essentially. You break back into that channel, okay, well, your quote unquote sellers are not selling at that point, essentially. So you can think, okay, well, we're going to enter that channel at least for a little bit. And then you're still in that supply zone, which would then be turning into a demand zone. So that's kind of a little backwards talk there, where it's like, well, your resistance becomes your demand, or your resistance becomes your support line, kind of. You're looking for it to pretty much come back up through that channel in there, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's backwards talk sometimes, because it's like, well, this is supply zone. Like, if you're down here, obviously we weren't getting out of it, so it's resistance supply. We're not getting out of it. But then this, now when you come up here and you're coming down here, I would be like, so if we're working our way down from the top, well, this is still support demand because we haven't broke to the downside. Hence, this is your support and demand zone. And I like to draw them in zones, because if you draw it like almost to the penny, so like if I just did, let's do this here. So like if I just did like 610.63, I might miss that, because this is a buying zone essentially. So obviously as we're coming down into that buying zone, you can assume, well, maybe we're gonna see some more dips. And this is why I'm always telling people, don't buy like a week, like if you're in like Meta, obviously, moves a little bit more, so your demand zone's a little bit bigger. I mean, that's almost a $30 demand zone. I'd try to tighten it up. Like, I would be looking for something probably around that trend line. Like, now if we were coming down like this, obviously it's going to be hindsight because it already happened. But like if I'm looking here, I'm like, okay, well, we're near the trend line. There's pretty good support here. This is your 20-day moving average. And if I just like kind of extend it too, you're seeing that 20-day moving average is pretty much at the bottom of that demand support zone. So I'd like, okay, well, maybe I'll get some longs for a month out, something like that. So that's kind of, this one's a little easier to show you going into a demand zone versus like going up into a supply zone, but it's pretty much the same gist, just obviously would be opposite then. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's take a peek what's coming in. So Morgan Stanley puts, get out of the way. Intel calls, 27 not swinging over the weekend, nope. Especially that's not clean. CVX, 7 days. Not super clean. That looks like it could equal that. 2,500. 1, 5, 2, 26. Could be that. Not clean. Not super clean. It's supposed to be, what is it here, 43 right now. Oh man, I can't wait for market close. Gonna get out, go for a bike ride. Yeah, I'm ready for the weekend. I have to work a little bit more tonight, and then kind of want to get the flow recap out tonight. Hopefully, I gotta put everything in, and I gotta record, and I'm ready for our next day off, and that is not for a month now. Oh, now I have my friend coming over to do an estimate. Cool. So when he gets here, I'm just going to have to step away for a couple minutes, but that's not going to be a problem. So these, again, they're showing their ask side calls, but that, oh, dude, it's been fun. I can't wait for summer so I can get outside. And the cool thing is, so my city, they offer like a drawing every summer. So they give out 120 grants where they'll cover up to $5,000 of any project you do. So they'll pay 25% of your project. So I'm getting a new driveway this summer. Got to get some trees and stuff. And man, I am excited to get in the yard and work. I got to get a shed built. It's going to be a busy summer. But it's been going good. It's been going good. Let's look at these Verizons quick too. So weeklies, yeah. Oh, so those were mids pretty much. So it'll show ask, but it's pretty much a mid. Kind of look at the flow here. 2217. Not swinging anything over the weekend though. Don't want to really post anything more, especially something that's like a mid fill like that. 79. Probably buys, but if you want to swing over the weekend, feel free, especially on something that's up almost 4%. What is CGC saying here? Hit him with the laugh comment. But yeah, no, it's been going good. It's inside's pretty much all taken care of. We're gonna do some painting, and that's kind of it. Make sure I gave him the right address. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, I'm ready for the weather, and we just got like 10 inches of snow on Wednesday. I know Josh is in Minnesota here too, so I don't know, and he's a little more south of me too, and they got hit worse. So yeah, he can tell you how bad that snow was. Yeah, it wasn't fun. It's all melted pretty much by me, and my snowblower actually got there. It was so wet I couldn't literally blow out the snow. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get a little area, and it's pretty much melted now. I mean, it's supposed to be like 60 on Monday here, but yeah, it was. I mean, Wednesday was bad, and we had like 35-mile-an-hour to 45-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, that's what I did too at the end of the driveway. Well, and I'm in a cul-de-sac too, so the way they like plow the cul-de-sac, they push all the snow pretty much on my end. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get through this crap with the snowblower. It's just gonna jam up. But I'm hoping, probably not going to be, but hoping it's the last time of the year that I have a big heavy snowfall. I'll take light puffy snow and I can just shovel it out. Let's see what the market's doing here. Coming back down a little bit. Let's see. Let's refresh this. Yeah, you're probably getting what we got. But that means you'll get some nice weather in a couple days. Yeah, our weather 42 today, 45 tomorrow, 51 Sunday, 58 Monday, 60 next Friday, and rain. Oh, that rain would be nice. Yeah, you'll get what we get after. Hey, Boston area, go Celtics. Let's go. Oh man. Yeah, and I'm hoping that the recording works. I just hope the volume works. I got a different video downloader thingy so I can stream on other services too. And I'm hoping, because I was having issues with the sound last week, and I did the full recap on Saturday morning. Realized the sound didn't work, even though my mic showed everything working and all that, and then it didn't work, and I was like, cool, I gotta do this again. But now we gotta be smart and test it. But it's annoying when it says the mic's working and it doesn't work. Yeah, have a great week. And if you want to rewatch the video, it'll be posted. Yeah, I know it's been slow. What was the Max Payne 588 today? Trying to just guess it off the top of my head. I don't remember it off the top of my head. $582. Suppose I could just go look instead of ask. But yeah, I was just trying to think off the top of my head. I'm like, what was it? Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah. That Max Payne's been pretty good, and I forgot what it was yesterday. I didn't look at it yesterday. I'm going to put in a Max Payne channel here too, and I'm just going to post that Spy Max Payne every morning too. Everyone can thank Simulation for that idea. Let's look at that gap quick for you. Yep, there you go. Up to 581. There you go. That would fill your Max Payne gap. But I don't know how 61 million for volume. Pretty good volume day. Pretty good volume day. I mean, we've had a lot of volume the last couple days. Yeah, I kind of touched on the Periscope. I haven't did anything with it yet. I haven't played with it. I haven't upgraded to get it yet. I'm kind of waiting to see how some other like Snorlax, or I gotta watch Nick's video on it too. I kind of want to see. I know it's in the beta testing stage and all that too, so I'm kind of want to see some other people use it. I don't like usually being a guinea pig. So I do not, but I can pull them up. Actually, I'm gonna pop in the Market Tide quick, and then I'll pull them up. Let me just pop that Market Tide in. Yeah, just kind of flat for the most part on Tide. Nothing really sticking out. Cool, thanks Josh. I will pop that up here in a second. Let me just get this in here. Alright, let's take a peek here at what Josh sent. Yeah, I haven't seen him. Let's see, options for here. Interesting. Interesting. See, I like people like this that looks like he matches up flow with technical analysis, I'm guessing. These are my favorite oh, no, not him. Never mind. I thought that was a different person. I was like, oh, hey, I know that little kid that pumps everything. That's not him. Also, he actually creates indicator. PG put print in. Okay. Okay, Dan's. Interesting. Yeah, I might have to look at his feet a little bit more. I want to see that PG. Oh, yep, there we go. 188, finally green on those. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people use that ribbon indicator with especially crypto, it seems like. Seems like a lot of crypto people use that ribbon. Let's see, I gotta pop over. I gotta show Dan a little love. Okay, let's see. Oh, these are our trades. Did those Microsofts move at all yet? Chopping a little bit. Yeah, those PGs. PG making a nice move down. Oh, okay. Did those XLEs break out? Kind of up 150, 180, 181. Pretty good. BFC, that was some unusual flow that came in on there. I want to go back and look. Actually, let's see. Cisco puts 196. All right, I want to go back to those VFCs from earlier. Was it VFC? Yes, it was VFC. Where were you? Those came a little earlier. PDD. VFCs. Yeah, that was really unusual how those came in. So we had the 417.20, 516.19, 516.20, 417.20. So a lot there. Just kind of want to look at them all, see how they're doing. Yeah, kind of 3 on that. That's the one I'm saving and just watching. 20. Yeah, they were making a move up from that because these came in about 10, 25 my time, so a little bit here should be up. Let's see what just came in. United Healthcare, multi-leg. Oh, I wish the flow was kind of a little more coming in. Bid side, I mean, I'm not a big fan of bid side stuff, especially in a market like this, because you're kind of seeing a lot of swings. I like it. I like bid side stuff more in a stable market, because then you have that theta on your side where it's going to eat the contracts and you're going to collect premium a little quicker. Not a big fan of it on volatility ETF. Yeah, just not much. We actually looked at those QQQs. I think they sold those 1,000 there, 1,000 there. Looks like it was a quick in and out. Yeah, just not a ton. And all these IWMs, a lot of them are always multi-legs. So always check that multi-leg. There's been a lot. Seems like a majority of the IWMs that come in are multi-leg. So I mean, so those were the 41 days. Let's look at the 14. Oh wait, okay, it was the 14 that was multi-leg. Okay, let's look at the 41 again, multi-leg. So somebody always kind of just IWM for some reason just always has that weird multi-leg stuff. SPY doesn't ever really have it that much. I mean, 5%'s nothing I'm concerned about, but like this, I mean, this to me almost looks like 721. Looks like they probably cut those at 770. I mean, 10%. I want to see what we do for power hour, though. Let's see. Let's look at Tide again. Yeah, market Tide's just heading to the bid side for both. Out of the money, still pretty flat. ETF. Okay, SPY. Let's look at these 5 days. So 558. That's kind of far out of the money for 5 days. No multi-leg. That's some significant volume there, though. And premium. 1.4 million. That's pretty significant. Let's look at the flow. See where that. Let's see, yeah, that's a big jump in that IV. Some there. Well, that's coming above the bid or above the ask. Above that, yeah. These look good. Let me pop these in. These look pretty good, actually. Could be, I know you were talking about it earlier, JT, could be a sell-off into close. But, I mean, that's some significant volume and premium there. Let me get those up quick. Some good flow. I mean, for how volatile it's been, there's been some good flow. Obviously, there's going to be some losing flow, but for the most part, there's been some really good flow. And that volatility, I mean, you see big returns on contracts usually with volatility. I'm waiting. We're gonna all see it. I'm gonna call it now. We're gonna see Dan post something in the chat. He's gonna be like, that SPY put watch. I'll bet you anything. Oh, and here comes more. Oh wait, nope. That was. I didn't see where that one came from. But yeah, that's good volume there. Ask side, that's multi-leg. Curious to see what we do in the close, though. And that market shook off that non-farms payroll. I mean, real quick. Didn't even blink at the report. Popped and then just flat. I mean, kind of like I said, that report, I mean, just kind of looking at it, and that breakdown's in there for anybody that wants to read it. I mean, you look right away, you're below consensus. You had a revision down. So you're from your January numbers down to revised down to 125K. That's 18,000 difference right there. So you're 18K less jobs than were expected. You're 9,000 less here. You know this is going to get revised next month. To me, that's saying that job market's not as strong as it's expected to be. Let's see what just came in these CMGs. Earnings floor. And They're not. I want to refresh it just to see if any more kind of did it, but I noticed there was one earlier. A floor trade that was canceled. See, this floor trade canceled. It seems like whenever I post the floor trade, it ends up getting canceled out. It's the only one today. But yeah, that economic Dow, another one right there. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that data today. It was just kind of nothing, especially with all the government jobs being cut. Hiring was down. Challenger job cuts were up. I know we have JOLTS job openings next week. CPI next week too. It's gonna be another volatile week next week. That's crazy to think this is going to be the worst week since September, potentially, barring anything major in the last 53 minutes. Uh-oh, somebody's talking again. There's no clash between Elon and the cabinet. Great. So we got somebody talking again now. So SPY 547 for sale. Good premium there. So like this is something like, okay, let's look at the flow. So flow 2261, that IV increases. We obviously just posted some SPY flows, so I'm not gonna double post it that close together. But that's interesting. I mean, there's still a lot of put volume coming in. It's always interesting. Let's see how SPY's net premiums are looking. I know simulation, you were talking about this yesterday, and I kind of go back, but like yesterday when I was telling you, I'm like, this is like mixed to me. Like you have net call premium, it's ask side calls, slightly ask side puts, but you have a lot of put volume. So I mean, to me, that's kind of mixed where you have that. Now, like today, again, I mean, you have a lot of net call premium. That net put premium, there's anything above that zero is ask side, anything below is bid side. Yep, so that should help. That'll clear a lot of things up there for you. That'll clear up a lot of things there for you. Yeah, anything above that middle that's positive, so your ask side, anything below would be bid side. That's the same for market tide as well. So anything above that zero is ask side, anything below is bid side. No, just remember, obviously you can be bull, like if you get filled at the bid doesn't mean that they're actually always selling. You can, and it takes an account too. So like if I'm selling my position, especially on some of the other big stocks or kind of little lower volume stocks, not big stocks, but if I'm selling, like, I'm not going to find a good one. I'd have to look a little more, but like on a Ford, like if I sold $10 million worth of calls, you're going to see that net call premium drop a lot to that bid side. So you might think, oh, okay, well, hey, somebody's selling calls. Well, yeah, they're selling calls because they made profit on them. So that's kind of why you look for opening trades more too, if that makes some sense. Let's see what just came in. NVIDIA calls and BAC. Let's look at these 35 days out. So like this, perfect example, open interest, volume, can see clean opening trade. I can tell you instantly it's an opening trade. So with this coming in here, 576K, that's popping that up too. You can always come down here too, and if you scroll over, it's going to tell you what that percent of the total like premium for that stock is on the day. So that's only 2%. Let's take a peek though. So 32.39, these look good here. Actually going to post these. These look pretty good. And that call volume's picking up here too. You can see that right in here, that call volume picking up. Get this posted. And we also have the NVIDIA, so 164. I have to check that there, see how that's looking. Yeah, definitely an opener. NVIDIA's already kind of moving there. So 50 cents. Oh, so this is a good example here. Something that's still good to me, but kind of might throw people off. So obviously you have your IV drop here at first, but then we spike back up. So that looks good to me. We'll post these up 2%. And we know NVIDIA's been beaten up. But yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good sign. Probably a good sign then for these. Gotta take my screenshot. I've missed that a couple times this week. And it didn't save. I get out of here. Let's see. And then we got some more coming in there too, so good sign there. I want to show Dan that 558. Where am I? So now that IV dropped a little bit there after that original. Alright, let's take a peek here again. So that IV coming up. So yeah, I mean it's spiking for the most part all the way up. And you're coming in above the ask. I'll just pop this in for him quick. Let's see my IV. Let's see some. It's your big one. Let me get that in here. Yeah, those big spots, they're coming above the ask. I mean, that's usually telling to me. But we'll have to see what happens because that's interesting. Gonna drop into close or not. Well, that was a quick report. Trump's already done talking to reporters. Let's take a peek here. Yeah, I want to see how we finish. That's going to be interesting. I was like, who is this truck that's the neighbor? I think. Yep, that's the neighbor. Hims, that thing is just wild. I wish I would have held. That thing's just insane. That thing is just insane. All right, everybody, I gotta take a 5-minute break. My person's here for the bid, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. JT's in charge while I'm gone.